Hello everyone, welcome to Believer Science Academy. This is daily news analysis session. In this session, we'll be discussing some important articles from various newspapers which are important from UPSC prelims, mains as well as interview perspective. So today, that is 15th of January 2025, the first article is about India's push to lead in sunrise sectors. Why it is in news? It is in news because achieving US dollar 32 trillion economy, 32 trillion economy by 2040-17 and becoming a developed nation is the economic target of India. Strategy focus that Niti Aayog CEO emphasizes leadership in sunrise sectors like solar panels and electric vehicles as the key industries which are going to help in achieving this 32 trillion economy by 2047. Okay, so what are sunrise sectors then? Sunrise sectors by definition are any sectors that are rapidly growing and have higher potential industries in the early stages of development. Okay, so they have high potential and they are rapidly developing. All those sectors are called as sunrise sectors. Importance, they are very critical for innovation. Since they are in the early development stage, you need innovation to improve upon it, and it also attracts investment. It attracts investment because of the high potential and fosters long-term growth because it is in the earlier stages and has a large potential. So, what are the key sectors for India? First and foremost is electric vehicles. Okay, so what the government has done in this regard is faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles, that is FAME 2 scheme. So the potential is sustainable transportation and reduced fossil fuel dependency. Okay, if there is a reduced fossil fuel dependency, then the import dependency also reduces. When the import dependency reduces, then current account deficit is also going to reduce. So it has a large economical implications as well. Then second sector is electronics and semiconductors. So the projection or the priority is tripling the market by 2026. Okay, so the strategy is production linked incentive schemes to boost domestic manufacturing. Okay, so electronics and semiconductors is one of the 13 sectors which is covered under production linked incentive scheme. They are providing incentives to people who are involved in these industries so that they can grow at a rapid rate. Then renewable energy, the focus is on solar power and other renewable energy to close the 5 to 7 year gap with global leaders. Okay, in the sense the amount of renewable energy the global leaders are producing and the amount of renewable energy as a percentage of total consumption the global leaders are producing, that gap should be reduced within 5 to 7 years. Okay, so in this there have been many missions, example national solar mission, national wind policy, national offshore wind policy, national biofuel mission, etc are in this regard. Then fifth revolution technologies, that is artificial intelligence and advanced technologies such as internet of things, big data analytics, machine learning, automation, etc. So the role here is it acts as a catalyst for innovation and global competitiveness. Okay, this is the catalyst for innovation where all the other sectors can be improved upon. Okay, so what are the potential impacts of sunrise sectors? Since it has high potential, obviously there will be economic growth. Since it is early stages, obviously there will be need for innovation. So there is also sustainability since we are focusing more on green energy. So first one is economic growth. It is going to result in job creation, industrial development and innovation driven growth. It will help bridging the gap to global economic leadership. It is also aiming towards sustainability, that is transition to cleaner energy aligning with global climate goals. Then global competitiveness, that is positioning India as a leader in advanced technologies and manufacturing. All these things are very important, and these are the potential impact of sunrise sectors for India. Then after this, what are the challenges in sunrise sectors then? Okay, sunrise sectors are challenges are technological gap, that is there is at least a lag of 5 to 7 years behind in areas like solar panel manufacturing and EV technology compared to the global leaders. Okay, so there is a lag which has to be bridged. Okay, then example, China's dominance in EVs and electric batteries is possible because of they were able to bridge the gap. Okay, so at present India has a 5 to 7 years gap between China and other global leaders, so that needs to be the gap needs to be reduced. Then another challenge is infrastructure and investment deficit. Okay, so the weak links are limited electronic vehicle charging limited electronic vehicles charging networks and renewable energy grids. As a result, it is having a strain on electronic vehicles industry. That is why more people are not advocating for electronic vehicles because of the lack of charging networks. Then financial constraints, that is lower private credit to GDP ratio compared to the USA and China. Okay, so private investment is very necessary for the growth of economy, especially in technologies as these. Okay, so in India there is a sluggish private investment, which we discussed in the economic slowdown of India also. Okay, where we studied that private investment in key sectors is reducing. That is also one of the key challenge. So the examples are there is a slow development of semiconductor manufacturing facilities in India, and then there is also policy and regulatory network bottlenecks. Issues such as unclear guidelines, slow approvals, and limited incentives for clean technology is one of the reasons why there is policy or regulatory bottlenecks. Examples include delayed execution of renewable energy projects due to bureaucratic hurdles. Okay, in bureaucratic hurdles there is bureaucratic apathy, and then there is red tapeism, and there is passing the bug system. Okay, they do not continue the process at a swifter way. Okay, they tend to take more time, and they will just tie the red tape and keep it away in the pages. Okay, that needs to be changed. How you can change? How you can enhance the importance of sunrise sectors? That is by increasing the investment and R&D, that is research and development. That is focus should be on clean technologies and advanced manufacturing. India should partner with global players for technology transfer innovation. Okay, such as China, Taiwan, South Korea, USA, Japan, etc., etc., who are the global leaders in semiconductor manufacturing, or global leaders in AI, etc., etc. Then policy support and incentives, that is government should provide tax benefits and subsidies for sunrise sectors. Government is already providing under production linked incentive scheme. Now the need is to include more of these sunrise sectors into PLA scheme. Then streamline regulatory process and faster clearances for startups and innovation, so that there is less bureaucratic hurdles, so that there is ease of doing business. Then focusing on infrastructure development also, that is expanding electronic vehicle charging networks and renewable energy grids, strengthening semiconductor and electronic manufacturing capabilities, which is going to address the infrastructure hurdles. And then in order to address the private investment, we can go for a mixed public-private partnerships, that is collaborating with private firms to pool resources and scale operations. Okay, so achieving $32 trillion by 2047 is possibility only when we are able to reap the benefits of sunrise sector. Okay, there can easily be a question on what is sunrise sector, what is the status of sunrise sector in India. So do make note of these important points and data. Okay, next, moving on to the next article, that is Indian Meteorological Department's 150th anniversary. Okay, IMD completed its 150th anniversary since its inception, since its establishment. So there was a meeting, and in that meeting, Prime Minister Modi said that need for earthquake warning system is a strategic priority. So we'll together discuss all these articles together. So why it is in news? in the recent Prime Minister initiative, Prime Minister released of the IMD's vision for document 2047. Okay, they released this document on 150th anniversary. So the goal here is to achieve zero error 3-day weather forecast and 90% accuracy in 5-day forecast by 2047. What is goal is zero error 3-day weather forecast and 90% accuracy for 5-day forecast by 2047. Okay, here the report also mentioned economic burden of the economic burden of the disasters because of climate change and etc. So India has witnessed sharp rise in economic losses due to natural catastrophes, reflecting both the increasing frequency of extreme weather events as well as countries' vulnerabilities. Okay, so weather event is also extremely extreme frequency of weather events, and there is also country is also vulnerable and it is not prepared to deal with these catastrophes. As a result, in 2023, natural disasters caused an estimated 12 billion in economic losses, significantly exceeding the annual average of 8 billion over the past decade, according to a report by global insurance giant Swiss Re. Okay, as a result, there is a need for Prime Minister initiative which released IMD's vision document for 2047, which is going to address economic losses as a result of natural catastrophes or disasters. Then we'll understand the significance and origin of IMD. Indian Meteorological Department was originally established in 1875. It is a pre-independent era or colonial era institution. Following a series of catastrophic events that included devastating tropical cyclone that struck Calcutta in 1864, that underscored the need for centralized meteorological services. Okay, so remember the date. Okay, at least remember that it is a pre-independent era institution or colonial era institution. Then it comes under the Ministry of Earth Science, Government of India. Since its inception, the department has played a crucial role in advancing meteorology as a modern physical science. Okay, so it has played a very significant role. So we will see what is India's vision document 2047 and what are the key objectives, how we can achieve those objectives. It focuses on forecast accuracy, that is there should be zero error forecast for 3 continuous days and there should be 90% accuracy for 5 days. Okay, based on the accuracy of forecast we can plan our day-to-day activities. Then technological focus, the document also says that there should be enhanced surveillance through technologies, high performance computing systems, advanced earth system models incorporating artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, so there is a need for technological intervention. Then okay, but why does India need an earthquake warning system? Okay, why does India need it? Prime Minister said that there is a need for earthquake warning system, which is a strategic key or which is a strategic aim of the government. But why is it needed? It is needed because India is present at the high seismic vulnerability zone. Okay, and there are very active zones in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and northeastern region. Example, in 2001 Gujarat earthquake devastation has amplified or signified the vulnerability of India to earthquakes. And there is also risk to dense urban areas. Vulnerable cities include Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and other metropolitan cities. So examples are potential impact of a strong earthquake in Delhi. There are smaller tremors which are experienced in Delhi, but there can be more disturbing earthquakes in the near future in Delhi. So there should be earthquake warning system present. Then there is limited preparedness, meaning earthquakes provide minimal reaction time. That is why we cannot prepare for the earthquakes. Whatever should happen, it should happen before only. That is, there should be warning before the earthquake happens itself. Then example, 2015 Nepal earthquake's impact on northern India resulted in death and destruction also. So what are the steps towards zero error disaster forecasting? One is technological advancement, that is deploying next generation radars, satellites and HPC systems, data assimilation and modeling using artificial intelligence and machine learning integration. capacity building, that is enhanced training and operational frameworks. So in this regard, what are the government initiatives in disaster management? It talks about 2024 highlights regarding disaster management. One is legislative amendments, that is Disaster Management Amendment Bill 2024 brought in. So again, urban disaster management authorities and state disaster response forces were mandated under the bill. And for urban flood mitigation, around 300 million investment for water conservation and drainage, so that there are less urban flood. Then with regards to urban heat island mitigation, heat action plans and green space expansion was mandated by the government. For early warning systems, which focus on floods, heat waves, and multi-hazard alerts, that is enhanced early warning systems. And with respect to capacity building, multi-agency drills like that in Assam for flood response. Okay, government is also vigilant and government is also active in these areas. Okay, then so what are the challenges in disaster forecasting then? Challenges are data gaps, that is limited real-time data from the remote areas. Then example include 2013 Kedarnath flood due to inadequate data. Then unpredictability of natural phenomena, that is sudden geological shifts causing earthquakes or tsunamis, which provide very less reaction time. Example 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, which resulted in death of more than 2 lakh people over the world. Communication barriers, that is ineffective dissemination of warnings. Then example fishermen fatalities during the cyclone Taukte. Okay, there is a early warning system present in certain disasters, but that early warning system was not properly communicated to the people. As a result, it resulted in deaths of certain fishermen during the Taukte cyclone, which happened in 2021. So way forward should be technological strengthening and community awareness. So during community awareness, it should be multilingual. It should have accessible early warning systems, regular public awareness campaigns and drills. All this should be considered so that these mishaps in the future can be reduced. Okay, so that Vision 2047 of IMD can be achieved. Okay, so these points become very important from your disaster management chapter. Okay, do make a note of these things. There can be question in GS2 on disaster management, so make note of all these important points. Next, moving on to the third article. Third article is about international relations, mainly India and its neighborhood. It talks about India summons Bangladeshi envoy and inquires about border fencing dispute. Why it is in news? It is in news because India summoned Bangladesh's acting high commissioner to discuss issues related to border fencing and security. The tensions arise from the differing interpretations of border agreements and India's ongoing fencing efforts. Okay, so many people from Bangladesh are trying to move into the India, and border security force is vehemently fighting against those people. And there is also fencing operations happening on the borders, which are disputed in one or the other way. As a result, government of India has asked for commissioner, that is high commissioner to Bangladesh, so that we can discuss and resolve these issues among ourselves. So in this article, it initially talks about India-Bangladesh border guidelines. First one is 1975 joint guidelines, that is it prohibits construction of defense structures within 150 yards of the international boundary. Disagreement was India does not consider wire fencing as a defense structure, but Bangladesh does. Okay, so there is a rule of 1975 where which bans construction within 150 yards, but according to India, fencing is not a defense structure, whereas Bangladesh considered it as one. Implications are differing perspective lead to disputes over the legality of India's fencing projects. So what are the key issues between India and Bangladesh? One is fencing dispute, that is Bangladesh views India's fencing as a violation of 1975 agreement. The recent incidents in Malda and Cooch Behar involves obstruction by Bangladeshi border guards, which resulted in deaths of few Bangladeshi migrants. Then cross-border crime, that is India cites fencing as essential for combating smuggling, human trafficking and other illegal activities. Then Bangladesh argues it inconveniences local residents and affects sovereignty. Okay, So India says that it is essential for avoiding illegal activities, whereas Bangladesh says that it is questioning the it is a question on the sovereignty of Bangladesh. So diplomatic tensions include reciprocal summoning of diplomats reflects rising friction over the border management. Okay, so Bangladesh called for the Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, and India did the same thing. Okay, so what should be the need for border fencing? That is preventing cross border crimes. That is purpose is to control smuggling of goods, arms and drugs and curb human trafficking. Examples are Malda, West Bengal are notorious for cattle smuggling. Okay, and to manage unauthorized crossings, that is control illegal migration to prevent demographic changes and social tensions. Okay, examples: Assam has faced political challenges due to migration, and Tripura has seen a demographic reversal in Tripura also, where the native Tripurans have become minority in their own state. Then addressing the geographical complexities, challenges, rivers and close-knit borders villages make monitoring very difficult. Okay, the river basins such as India, Ganga, Brahmaputra river basin or Meghna river basin makes it very difficult to monitor villages in these regions. So example are fencing in enclosed lakes, Dhagram, Angarpota helps prevent disputes. Then what are the steps taken by government? Fencing progress. So at the current status, 3,180.5 kilometer completed, 915 kilometers pending. Challenges are geographical and logistical constraints may delay the March 2024 deadline. It has delayed already. Mixed barrier approach, that is combining physical barriers with advanced technology like sensors and surveillance systems can help this cause. Focusing on unfenced area with challenging terrain, focus should be given on the areas where there are unfenced areas and there is a challenging terrain. Normally these areas are used by smugglers and insurgent groups to move through India and Bangladesh. And enhance security measures, that is floodlighting along the border, additional border outposts and integrated checkposts for better monitoring. Okay, so way forward should be enhance bilateral cooperation, that is strengthening the dialogue through flag meetings and joint consultations, seek mutual agreement on fencing and border management practices, and integrated border management, that is implement smart border solutions which combines advanced surveillance technology such as drones and sensors with community involvement to minimize local disruptions. That is border communities should be involved so that there is less disruptions on the both sides. Then there should also be diplomatic engagement, that is should focus on fostering trust and cooperation to align security goals with respect for sovereignty, regularly reviewing the agreements to address evolving challenges so that there is less scope for mishaps on the borderways. Okay, so very important article with some very nice examples as well as nice recommendations provided in this article. You can make note of these examples. Then third article is about fourth article is about Israel Hamas ceasefire deal. It is in news because Hamas has agreed to draft a ceasefire in Gaza conflict. Final approval of the ceasefire deal is awaited from Israel's cabinet. Okay, so the long-standing rivals of Israel and Hamas in Palestine's Gaza Strip are trying to draft a ceasefire so that there can be no more death and destruction. But we have to wait and see how it is going to be played out. So background about Israel-Hamas conflict. In the recent one, a Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, the large-scale rocket attacks and infiltration into the Israel territory was done by Hamas. Over 1,200 deaths, including civilians, abduction of many hostages. Approximately 100 Israeli remain captive in Gaza, with some presumed dead already. So Israel offensive in Gaza. Israel, as a result, responded with targeting Hamas. Military response to targeting Hamas, which resulted in widespread destruction and over 64,000 deaths as reported in Gaza, according to the Lancet report, and displacement of 90% of Gaza's 2.3 million population with a severe humanitarian impact. So the ceasefire attempts, it is not the first time. There have been numerous attempts mediated by international actors, including the USA, Egypt, and the Qatar. So deep-rooted political tensions impede the long-term resolutions. The two states resolution by the United Nations and other Abraham Accords by the United States and other accords, Oslo accords by other countries have been unsuccessful till the date. But now we have to wait and see. So the ceasefire has a three-phase plan. First phase one is ceasefire and hostage exchanges. That is, 6 week ceasefire will be made and Israeli withdrawal from populated Gaza areas. Exchange will be 33 Israeli hostages for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and humanitarian aid influx. That is, at least 600 trucks daily will be provided to the Palestinian area. Palestinians return to the homes amid destruction. This is the phase one, and the phase two is about hostage release and Israeli withdrawal. At present, Israel has occupied more of the region of Gaza Strip, so there will be release of remaining captives in exchange for more Palestinian prisoners and complete Israeli withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. Then fragile ceasefire continuation with the risks of renewed conflict. Okay, and in phase 3 it will focus on reconstruction of Gaza, that is large scale reconstruction efforts in Gaza, return of deceased hostages remains to families so that they can do the final rites. So these are the 3 phases of ceasefire. However, there are certain challenges, as we have seen throughout the history, that all these ceasefire have been utter failure in of resolving this conflict. So the challenges include Hamas's conditions, that is, Hamas demands complete withdrawal of Israeli forces and war cessation before releasing the captives, which Israel might not consider it very well. Then recurring obstacles, that is, temporary ceasefires are disrupted by Hamas's insistence on Israeli withdrawal and Israel's conditions of dismantling Hamas for peace. Okay, Hamas says that Israel should withdraw their troops, whereas Israel says that we have to end Hamas for eternal peace. And then internal opposition within the Israel, that is, far-right ministers label the ceasefire as a surrender, threatening government stability. Okay, so the far-right Israeli officials or conservative Israeli officials are not in favor of this ceasefire deal. Okay, they see this as a defeat to Hamas. Then strain within Netanyahu's coalition, including Likud and far-right partners, is one of the chief challenge behind this one. Then Netanyahu position, that is, war temporarily bolsters his political standing. Ceasefire deal risks further destabilizing his fragile coalition. Okay, so there is internal politics as well as external politics involved in this Gaza and Israel and Hamas ceasefire. We have to wait and see how it is going to play out. Then, like fifth article, it is about Mission Mausam, which talks about enhancing India's weather preparedness. So, what is Mission Mausam? Mission Mausam is a comprehensive initiative aimed at advancing India's weather and climate science capabilities to make the nation weather ready and climate smart. Okay, so the key highlights of Mission Mausam is objective is to enhance weather forecasting accuracy, addressing the challenges posed by climate change, equip stakeholders to manage extreme weather events, then budget and implications. That is, the project has an outlay of 2,000 crore over 2 years of period. Lead agencies are IMD, IITM, that is Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. All these institutions and agencies are involved in Project Mausam. Then the Project Mausam also includes a component of technology advancement, that is deployment of next generation radars and satellites, high performance computing systems for data processing, high resolution atmospheric observations for better precision. All these things are being included in Project Mausam. Then outcomes will be improved spatial and temporal forecasting accuracy, research on weather management technologies, real-time local weather forecast on air quality, enhanced understanding of weather and climate processes. So the significance will be helping citizens and last mile connectivity, last mile users respond effectively to extreme weathers such as natural catastrophes, and provide actionable insights for sectors like agriculture, disaster management, and infrastructure planning. So that is why it becomes very important. We already discussed about Indian Meteorological Department, established in 1875, National Meteorological Surveys and Principal Agency for Meteorological Observations. It is present in New Delhi under Ministry for Sciences. Regional centers are present at Mumbai, Chennai, New Delhi, Kolkata, Nagpur, and Guwahati. Functions are meteorological observation and data collection, weather forecast for agriculture, shipping, aviation, and other sectors, early warning for natural disasters and extreme weather events. So, what are the impacts of mission MOSUM? Weather surveillances, because of the advanced technologies, ensures real-time monitoring. Climate adaptations, which provides tools for mitigating climate change effects. Economic resilience, that is supports weather sensitive sectors like agriculture and aviation. And then disaster management, enhances preparedness and responses to extreme weathers. Okay, so these are the 4 articles which I wanted to discuss with 5 articles which I wanted to discuss with you today. Very important articles. Since there is no Hindi newspaper today, I have taken up articles from Indian Express and Press Information Bureau, etc., etc., etc. So for more videos like this, please like, comment on the video as well as share with your friends. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.